Musharraf's rule in Pakistan began in 1999. Since then, he's rarely been off the world stage. The events of September the 11th put Pakistan front and centre. But 8 years on, his rule is being challenged. Al Jazeera's Imran Khan looks at where the man is today and how the Chaudhry affair is providing the opposition with a cause to rally around.
Is this a man on his way out? These protesters certainly hope so. Pakistan's President General Pervez Musharraf is facing the biggest challenge to his rule to date. Support for the sacked Chief Justice Iftikhar Muhammad Chaudhry is snowballing and may well be hitting critical mass. What lies in store for the khaki-clad president? Musharraf is already facing challenges on a number of fronts. His relationship with America. Many Pakistanis feel that it's take from the US. And Washington is complaining that he's not doing enough to control Taliban fighters from crossing into Afghanistan, a charge that he denies. He's also under pressure from exiled leaders Benazir Bhutto and Nawaz Sharif. Instill democracy, let us return and fight elections, and take off your military uniforms are their demands. He's promised elections, but what shape they will take is still under discussion. Domestically, he was also under pressure to bring much promised economic reforms, electoral reforms, and a key issue, take action on the issue of missing persons. Some sources saying that up to 1,000 have disappeared since 9/11. They claim that they've been handed over to America as part of the so-called war on terror. Given this backdrop, many feel that the only way out is a deal between the government and the opposition parties. Parties that, according to some analysts, are in cahoots with the legal community and have successfully manipulated the Chaudhry issue into a political movement on the cusp of forcing Musharraf's fall. Imran Khan for Inside Story.
And we're joined again by our guests from Islamabad, Sahibzada Kasuri, an attorney at law, and Mohammed Chaudhry, senior advocate of the Supreme Court. And also joining us from Dubai is Javed Malik, a political analyst and TV commentator. Javed Malik in Dubai, let me start with you first. Welcome to the program. Let's talk about the political future of Pakistan first. We're hearing rumours that some kind of deal is being struck that would allow Benazir Bhutto to return to Pakistan from exile. Would she provide a credible opposition which would give credibility to Musharraf's government, do you think?
Well, that's a good question, but I just want to touch briefly on what Sahibzada Kasuri earlier said, and he called it a movement by the political parties. But actually, the movement has been led by the Pakistan Supreme Court Bar Association, which is the body that represents lawyers from across the country. So it's essentially a lawyers-led movement, which is primarily to restore what they call, in their view, the role of the judicial system, whereas they feel which is under attack. Coming to the point of the deal, well, when many analysts do feel that perhaps the current setup has failed to deliver, and perhaps President Musharraf will be looking at forging some kind of a deal with another political party, namely the two former prime ministers. Now, of course, Nawaz Sharif has been very defiant, although there have been rumors of back-channel dialogue between Benazir Bhutto's party and Pervez Musharraf's party, but nothing has been confirmed so far.
There are rumours, of course, that to avoid any risk, the government may let Parliament elect Musharraf for another term and then possibly hold elections later on. Is that likely to happen, do you think?
Well, this is a very interesting question because according to many analysts, this is the primary reason why we are seeing the crisis today. The presidential term is also something which is in doubt because there have been 3 different times when President supposedly has taken oath. Initially when he removed the first president, Tarar, secondly after the referendum, and thirdly we see him after the 17th Amendment. So there is a bit of a confusion as to when the actual term starts and when does it end. The question, of course, is whether a parliament which has itself been elected for 5 years can elect a president for 10 years. This is fueling debate amongst both sides, and people are of the opinion that it cannot. But government continues to feel that that is the way things would be. But I think in the current scenario, the way situation has evolved since the reference against the Chief Justice, it will be very difficult to give any credibility if such a move is made.
That's an interesting point, and let's put that to Sahibzada Kasuri, because as I say, there is already talk to push through this re-election of Pervez Musharraf and elections possibly later this year, but that's going to lead to more clashes with the judiciary, isn't it?
Well, I think this is these people are just trying to make a hill out of the mole. I personally feel, and I can foresee, that all this dust which is in the horizon, political horizon, it will settle down, and the entire focus will be now on the constitutional petition which are before the full court, and there's going to be a long drawn constitutional battle on a most intricate questions of law and the constitution, and I'm sure that the people of Pakistan will be now looking more towards the full court, because full court represent the confidence of the people of Pakistan, and I'm sure that in coming days the people of Pakistan would be very keenly watching the proceeding before the full court, and how all the intricate questions of law and the constitution are filed before the court, and then there's some decision settlement, and I'm sure the decision given by the Supreme Court of Pakistan will settle this conflict. As far as Chaudhry Iftikhar is concerned, well, he is actually fighting a battle for his own survival. He is not fighting a battle either for the independence of judiciary or for the supremacy of law. His performance as a judge was very, very average, which would not inspire a confidence that he was a man who was giving an impression for the independence of judiciary and for the rule of law.
Okay, let's just get another viewpoint from Mohammed Chowdhury. What are your thoughts on this bilateral deal with Benazir Bhutto? Is it a marriage of convenience or a marriage of mutual mistrust? And what happens if it backfires?
Could you please address me as Muhammad Ikram Chowdhury? Thank you very much. Basically, the deal and some of the things have cropped up over past few months. Earlier there too, I think there was something going on between the People's Party's chief and Mr. Pervez Musharraf. We in Pakistan generally feel that, as a matter of fact, people of Pakistan and the lawyers community on the top of everything doesn't want any more co-sharing of rule or to be in the seat of governance in Pakistan, where army generals are supposed to be there, whether they are in uniform or without uniform. So in this perspective, when we see the present movement, which is absolutely for rule of law and constitution in Pakistan, and as I said earlier, an independent judiciary without law of necessity, which has been causing great harm to the state itself, and the Pak broke apart into two in 1971. So in this particular scenario, when Mr. Kasuri said that there is a dust and probably this will settle down, I'm sure